from New York City, it's Wendy Williams. Today, co-host of The Howard Stern Show, Robin Quivers opens up to Wendy about her battle with cancer. Then, People's Style Watch shows off the hottest shoe trends for the fall. Plus, Perez Hilton shares a shocking revelation about Chris Brown. And all the latest juicy hot topics. Now, here's Wendy.
Back at you. Hi. Thank you, studio audience, for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I know you've got options. Thanks for choosing us. I'm doing great. Okay, so we've got a great show for you. A couple of things I want to talk to you about. You know, Usher and his baby's mother, Tama, continue to battle, and it's not good. Scarlett Johansson, is she really the sexiest woman alive? That's what the streets are saying. And I'm gonna break down last night's Dancing with the Stars. So let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. That never gets old to me. So, did you watch Dancing with the Stars last night? Suzanne, if they didn't really watch, don't encourage them to clap. Okay. Did you watch Dancing with the Stars last night? Do you see the difference in the clap?
A lot of them watched it.
Not as many as when you encourage people to clap, though. This is the say it like you mean it, shout it out show. If you're not feeling it, then please don't react, no matter what she says. Stop, Suzanne. Some silly. So last night, Derek Hough and his partner, Amber Riley from Glee, were in a three-way tie for the highest score, 27 points, the highest score. The thing that, look at Amber just be dragged across the floor like that. Derek, you got a good back. And Amber, you are so incredibly graceful out there. So Derek's sister, the big scuttlebutt is that Derek's sister, Julianne, filled in for Len Goodman at the judges' table. No, they didn't let Len go. He was like over in Australia doing like Australian Dancing with the Stars. He's the host or something like that, so Len will be back. But in the meantime, Julianne was there, and I didn't find it a problem that she judged her brother. As a matter of fact, sometimes siblings can be even harder on each other than strangers. So that's a good-looking family, right? The Huffs? Anyway, so she judged accordingly. She was looking for a flaw, but she couldn't find one, so yeah. And then Snooki had a really good night last night. She channeled her cheerleading roots, and I don't know what part of ballroom dancing any of this is, Dancing with the Stars, but it's certainly enjoyable to see Snooki bouncing around like the little meatball that she is. Look at her go, look at her go. And then, you know, she was saying that, she said that it's very, very difficult for her on Dancing with the Stars because she's back and forth to Jersey like I was when I was there, only I never used it as an excuse. I just took my lumps and went on about it. But what she's doing is she flies out to LA on like Sunday nights and then she returns after, I guess, Tuesday night elimination. Today is Wednesday. Monday night elimination. And I was doing the same thing. But what she's saying is that she's coming back and forth. See, I was coming back and forth because, you know, the talk show, we're doing the talk show. But she's going back and forth because her cute little son is young. And they're also apparently still filming that Snooki and JWoww show. And so she's flying back and forth because of that. Don't use that as an excuse, Snookums. Just get out there and dance. Valerie Harper was sent home last night. Don't clap because I clap. I clap and then you clap. You don't mean it. You're just trying to agree because you feel as though it's polite. You don't have to be polite to me. I was the only one who clapped, Miss Harper, and I'm gonna tell you why. I never thought that you should be part of the show to begin with. At 74 years old, exactly. And she successfully battled cancer. She's good now, but I just feel like Miss Harper should just sit down and enjoy life, not be on Dancing with the Stars. So her daughter and her husband were there, and Valerie said in her parting words, she said that she came to Dancing with the Stars to inspire people and to also enjoy the party of Dancing with the Stars and the party of life. So, and then she said, keep on keeping on. So, Miss Harper, you keep on keeping on too. So, okay, about Usher and his ex-wife, Tamika. They are going at it. And I'm not choosing sides. Oh, heck, yes I am. Yes, I am. You know, I'm always for the woman just because that's who I am. However, I have to tell you that Tamika has now reportedly filed court documents claiming that Usher is refusing to co-parent. Tamika is claiming that she doesn't know where her kids are a lot of the time and that Usher shuts her out. Well, you know, Tamika, every time they go to Carvel for a cone, what does he have to call you? Now, I get it if he's gonna take them to Australia or something like that, then yeah, she does need a call. And Usher, you were dead wrong for allegedly signing up the 5-year-old for football without talking to their mother about it. See, so she's right with that. You don't have to agree, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, that's what I say. However, why does Usher have full custody and Tamika doesn't even, don't you, okay, I do. When a woman does not get even partial custody and a smelly, disgusting, irresponsible man, and all of you all are like that sometimes. I'm sorry, I don't think a man needs full custody of the kids, not if there's a mother in the life. So now, Tamika, I'm looking at you crazily, like what is wrong with you? What have you done that we don't know about? That Usher, a globetrotting rock star, is gonna have custody over a stay-at-home mom? Really? Then I found out. Tamika failed a psychiatric evaluation, allegedly. Well, and then I dug even further. And I found out that she was diagnosed with narcissistic personality traits. So then I called up my parents and asked them what that is. And so they basically said that that means that you care more about yourself than anybody else in the world. And so apparently when she was taking the test, the psych test, she was evaluated that way because the doctor apparently asked her, do you always feel people are watching you? Do you always feel that, like when you walk in a room and you know you're walking down the street? She said, well, yes, I'm Usher's ex-wife. And so I feel like, and she's partially right with that. Like, if you saw Tamika walk down the sidewalk, wouldn't you be like, there she goes. Usher's ex-wife. Oh, look, she's got the kids with her. Does Usher know? Anyway, I just can't figure it out. And you know what, though? There was one event that happened in their life that, to me, this girl should have a leg up on Usher. And that is, remember this past summer, the kids are like Irish twins. Like one is 4 and one is 5. They're very, very close in age. So Usher was not home. There was an aunt who can't swim on the watch, along with a bunch of gardeners outside taking care of the lawn. And the 5-year-old who's playing football got his hand caught in the pool drain and couldn't get out. Well, I don't know where the aunt who can't swim was, but it was the gardeners who alerted her and the gardeners who jumped in the water to rescue the little boy. The little boy is fine. I just told you he's playing football. But where was Usher? Tamika, I'm still looking at you crazy, like what mom doesn't automatically why weren't you able to just swoop in at that gross negligence and responsibility and get control of your kids? I just say there's more to this story. You know, I don't like it, suspect, and I'll keep you posted. And it's not even like she's working. every single day of your life, if your kids were snatched from your bosoms, wouldn't you work every day of your life to get those kids back? There has got to be a judge or a lawyer or somebody who would help Tamika out and get those kids back. It's not like she's working. Who has to work? When you have babies by Usher, your day is your day. You wake up when you want, you go shopping if you want, you look for a lawyer behind his back, hire a private eye to follow him and find out what's going on in his life. Because if you look deep enough, you're gonna find something, Tamika. I mean, this Scarlett Johansson's a very, very pretty girl. But Esquire magazine has named her the sexiest woman alive. Well, you would look sexy too if you had a full-blown photo shoot and thousands of dollars of makeup artists. I just always think that these sexiest woman alive or most beautiful woman in the world or most handsome man, I think that all of that is subjective. How many of you have always said that Khloe is the prettiest Kardashian? You know what I mean? Or that you find something very, very endearing about, well, listen, there's only one woman in the audience that said that, Khloe. Sorry, but you know what I mean. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And while this is a very, very pretty girl, she's 28 years old, and she's the first woman in the history of Esquire to have this title of sexiest woman alive twice. Guess when she had it the first time? When she was 21. With all due respect to you 21-year-old girls, that's not, a 21-year-old is not a woman. You're not even in the race to become America's Next Top Model at 21. Are you serious? Sexy should be judged beginning at 30. That's all. I think that she's a very beautiful woman, but have you ever seen her without makeup? To me, the sexiest woman alive should be able to be photographed with no makeup on and still look sexy. And I'll tell you, you know, and the first person that comes to mind would be like Kim Kardashian. Have you ever seen her Instagram pictures when she has on no makeup at all? Like she's a good-looking woman with or without makeup. That's all I'm saying to you. That's all I'm saying. Now that Scarlett Johansson, have you ever seen her without makeup? She looks like the rest of us. I don't know Esquire magazine. I mean, I remember last year you put Mila Kunis as the sexiest woman alive, and we were all very happy about that until we saw her just walking around like a random girl in New York. Look at her with no makeup. Really? Really? Like, any one of us could be the sexiest woman alive with expensive clothing, airbrushing, and thousands of dollars worth of makeup. That's all I'm saying. By the way, you know, this Scarlett recently got engaged to a French journalist, and she opened up about jealousy in the relationship, and here's what she says. I like what she says, actually. I do find a little jealousy is, keeps the sex hot. She says, I'd rather be with someone who's a little jealous than someone who's never jealous. There's something a little dead fish about them, a little bit depressing. It may not make sense, but you need to feel it a little. Here's what she's trying to say. This is something I always say. Nobody wants to be with someone that nobody else wants. You know what I mean? Yeah, a little jealousy is hot. A little jealousy. Anyway, let's move on. So there's some drama going on in the Jackson family, and so now it's time for a Jackson update. Hit it. I'm sorry, Mrs. Jackson, that I have to talk about your family. LaToya told me that you watch all the time. So how you doing, Mrs. Jackson? I'm a very, very busy woman, and I don't have time to make up stories or any nonsense. You know, if your family didn't bring me this action, then I wouldn't be talking. Now, here I go, ma'am. Jermaine Jackson is making his 83-year-old mother, Catherine, very angry. He just scooped up a 2009 Ferrari worth $160,000. He just bought it last week. But according to TMZ, he was banking on his mother, Catherine, winning that $1 billion wrongful death suit. You know, the family lost the trial, and now he's left with this car. So Catherine reportedly is livid because Jermaine, which is no secret, Mrs. Jackson has been supporting that entire family because Jermaine can't afford much, including going to court and whatnot. So, that is very irresponsible, Jermaine. That is virtually disgusting, Jermaine. You know what else is irresponsible? Changing your family name from Jackson to Jackson. Remember I told you that, with S-U-N. Having 3 kids with your brother's baby's mother. Oh, yes! Oh, and the third thing that's irresponsible is naming one of your kids Your Majesty. Now look at me. Listen. Okay. Randy had her first, 2 kids by her. Jermaine got her second, had 3 kids by her, and there she is. That's all I'm saying. Mrs. Jackson, you have a messy family. Thank you. Would you like to see possibly the sexiest woman alive? You might not agree with me. Real Housewife of Atlanta star Kenya Moore. You don't have to agree with me. Oh my gosh, people are booing. Oh my gosh. All right, who thinks no way? Clap. Woo. Hey, Kenya, they're reading. Anyway, look, she might have a new man. She was spotted at a birthday party for Cynthia Bailey's husband, Peter, and we did some, now you can't tell me, really? That is sexy. Okay. You don't see a Spanx line. You don't see a bra line. You don't see, that's good. And that's a 40-something. Yeah, well, everybody has their flaws. Have you ever pulled up on the quality of her skin? It's very pocky and like rocky. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the thing. Everyone is not perfect. But she is as close to it gets. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. That's a 40-something-year-old woman. And this man that's with her, that's her new man, allegedly. And what I like about this relationship is that, he did not choose a 25-year-old chippy. They actually look like a well-appointed couple together. As a matter of fact, they're so distracting that for the first time, I didn't notice the most beautiful woman in the world, who was Cynthia Bailey. I'm totally overlooking Cynthia at this point. Cynthia, what are you wearing? What the heck is going on? Anyway, so back to Kenya. So I did some digging to find out who this man is and came up with this. Okay, his name is Roger Bob with 2 B's. He's 45 years old, which is like the same age as Kenya, so that's good, mature love. He's also the president and CEO of his own production company. Well, he also used to be the executive vice president of Tyler Perry Studios. Well, he's rumored to be worth millions. Hey, girl. Congratulations, Kenya. Let's move on before I get myself in trouble. We've got a wonderful show for you, everybody. From The Howard Stern Show, the fabulous Robin Quivers is here. Robin recently revealed how she secretly battled and beat cancer, and so I look forward to catching up with Robin. Plus, Kate Dimmick is here from People Style Watch, and she's gonna show us the hottest shoe trends for the fall. But up next, one of my faves, Perez Hilton is here with the inside scoop on a shocking revelation from Chris Brown. Don't miss it. Joining us now is the one and only Perez Hilton. He's got the inside scoop. You've kept the weight off.
Oh, people ask me that when I'm out and about, and I tell them it's really 80% nutrition. And in New York, I've been out more and more social. I'm the dude who carries his food with him in a bag and eats outside before going into the party.
Perfect. And also, congratulations on the baby.
Oh, thank you.
He's a father now. And also, yes, he does live in New York full time. So if you see Perez walking around the streets, just give him a how you doing and keep it moving. Okay, so let's talk about Chris Brown's sex life.
Oh, boy. Chris Brown has been rather quiet lately until now. He doesn't give many interviews for good reason because he always gets into trouble when he does so. He's got a new album out. He's promoting it. In this new interview, he talks about a lot of things. A lot of people have been globbing onto the fact that he reveals that he lost his virginity when he was just 8 years old.
Who took it from him?
A 14-year-old girl, which is kind of very inappropriate. Because at 14, you should know better than to get together with an 8-year-old, which I find really revealing and telling. The fact that now he's describing it in such a way as, yeah, doing it that young helped me be a beast at it and the best at it. Chris Brown has a disease. His disease is he has half a brain. I really think he has half a brain. It's not working properly. And I don't say that to be mean.
He might be a beast in the bedroom, though. We don't know.
Well, he talks about that. He says that there is no woman he's been with that will complain, but he just does not have a grasp of reality. He says were it not for the Rihanna incident, that he would be bigger than life. He also says that...
Well, you know what? He's very talented.
He's talented, I agree.
There's something to that.
But bigger than life?
Well, not bigger than life, because that would be Kanye West, who says he's bigger than life. How interesting. Okay, ex-housewife of Beverly Hills, Adrienne Maloof, has a new man.
Yes, either a downgrade or an upgrade, depending on how you look at it.
Okay, we'll
and
judge.
It's wrapped in scandal, as those housewives often are, because she started dating her new guy when she was still with her ex-boyfriend. She was dating Sean Stewart, 33 years old, son of Rod Stewart.
Right.
Adrienne is 52. The new guy she's with is even younger. He's 24. And a very good-looking dude. His name is Jacob Bush.
They both look really nice there.
He comes from money. He's one of the heirs of the Anheuser-Busch, liquor brand.
So why?
But
I get
I
it.
think something fishy is going on here.
So do I.
He's on the cover of a magazine now. He's a spokesperson for some e-cigarette line. If it's my opinion, I think he's using her for publicity.
Yes, because this is what we always say here. What I always think is that these days it's not enough to be very wealthy. Very wealthy people all of a sudden want to be on TV and be known. But listen, she's 52. I'm sure she's not looking to have kids and fall in love with him. So they're both getting something out of it.
Absolutely.
It's a double use in my eyes. Cute.
I'm down.
Okay, now let's talk about Grey's Anatomy star Ellen Pompeo. She spilled the tea on Katherine Heigl.
I know, I love it when they spill the tea. It's rare that celebrities are honest. Because we're the honest ones, not them.
Right.
But Grey's Anatomy is celebrating their 200th episode, and to celebrate that, they're doing some press. And Ellen Pompeo talked about some of the drama that's been going on throughout the years of the show. One of them was Katherine Heigl leaving the show. There was drama because back then she was difficult on the set. And to her credit, Ellen Pompeo was very graceful about it, saying, I understand why Katherine Heigl was difficult because you're on a hit TV show, it all happened so quickly, and she was getting offers of $12 million to make a movie. She also talked about Isaiah Washington and how originally he was the one who was offered the role of the love interest, but it didn't work out.
Right.
Even though she's down with the squirrel in real life.
Yeah.
She wasn't in favor of Isaiah. She was McDreamy, Patrick Dempsey, on his side. But also one of the things I loved reading was she said, you know what? I've stuck with the show, and as a result of that, I'm a really rich woman.
Yeah, she's a very, very wealthy woman. Whereas Katherine Heigl's movie career, no bueno. And she has a reputation of being very, very difficult to work with. Her mother is her manager, and so, Anyway, thank you for that report.
Thank you.
I'll see you around New York. It's Perez Hilton, everybody. Make sure you check out PerezHilton.com. Up next from the Howard Stern Show, the legendary Robin Quivers is here. Welcome back. Our first guest is the author of a new book. It's called The Vegucation of Robin, How Real Food Saved My Life. And we're thrilled that after secretly battling cancer, she's finally back in the studio where we want her, right by Howard Stern's side. Please welcome the one and only Robin Quivers. You have just become too fabulous. Robin, it's so nice to see you. Good to see you. You know, wow. Thank you. Wow. Last time I was at the show, which was about 2 months ago.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
Yeah.
And we were told don't make mention of it. And I think maybe even the time before.
Right,
you
I
weren't
haven't been there for 17 months, so you've been there a couple of times without me, yeah.
But you haven't missed a beat. I mean, everything on the radio sounded just the same.
Thankfully, technology met me right where I needed it because I could see everything that was going on in the studio, and I didn't sound like I was on some phone line.
No, you guys had it down. So now, how are you feeling today?
I feel great.
Yes.
I feel really good, yeah. It's wonderful to feel good.
So, the first day Robin came back, Howard played personal messages from people like the Obamas and Oprah. That was pretty special.
Wendy.
I did not know.
You didn't fall for that.
Yes, I did. Okay, so the messages, there's always jokes.
You know how low rent we are?
But
we scarf those from the Good Morning America tribute to Robin Roberts when she returned.
So then Robin heard all these messages from all these people, you know, Robin, we're glad that you're back, Robin. Yeah, but to millions of us, you are that important.
Aww.
So it didn't seem weird. It didn't seem weird.
You know, the person that I thought it was the worst to pull the leg of was my mom. She's like, and the president and Oprah. I was like, Mom.
It wasn't them.
Yes.
So take us through your 17 months from the beginning, a little bit of it. How did you find out that you had cancer?
I was feeling a little tired not a little tired, actually, a lot tired for a while. But I kept thinking, you know, you'll snap out of this. You know how you go through those periods.
Yes.
You'll snap out of it. It didn't keep me from doing anything, so I really didn't think that much of it. And then all of a sudden, I started having trouble passing water. And it would come and go. And it was going on for a couple of weeks, and then I went to a wedding, and I never made it to the wedding because all of a sudden, I couldn't go at all. And I wound up in the emergency. No. The only pain was the distension of not being able to pee because my bladder would just, you know, swell to an enormous size and I couldn't go. And then they did an x-ray at the hospital and they said, there's a mass in your pelvis. And you have to go home and figure out what that is. You have to get it taken care of and you have to get it taken care of fast.
And at the time they told you it was the size of a grapefruit?
They just said there was a big mass. You know, this was in the emergency room at a hospital in Pittsburgh.
So, did you feel less than smart finding out that this happened because you were because you were a nurse? You know what I mean? Like, because you're a nurse.
No, because there were no symptoms that you could really put your finger on. I mean, it was a complete surprise. I really felt let down by my body because, you know, I'd been doing everything I could to stay healthy. And this wasn't supposed to happen to me. And, you know, there was a little bit of time there where I was like pissed and I wanted to get out of here. You know, like, I don't want to be in you.
Right.
You're a mess.
Some of the things that you have done to take care of your body or some of the things that many of us wouldn't do. You've traveled all around the world. Lived in villages, virtually eating sticks, mud and leaves.
Whatever, yes.
We hear you talk about it on the show.
Yeah, but you know, these things happen to anyone and we don't know why they happen. And so I had avoided everything I could avoid. And then, you know, the beautiful thing was that because I was so healthy, this didn't kill me.
Now, the things that...
Thank you.
At what point did you tell Howard?
Well, as soon as I got home from Pittsburgh, I was looking for a doctor. They had said, you need to go to see a gynecologist. And I was like, oh, I need a recommendation to somebody. And I called Howard just to see if Beth, his wife...
She's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. But this was in New York. And I was like, well, does she have a doctor that she really cares about? So I called him to see if that was the case. And as soon as he heard that I had a problem, he just said, Robin, what are we going to do? And he was just like,
That's what Howard
what are we gonna do? Who do we know? What can we, we gotta figure this out. And so right away, he was there with me for the whole ride, That's
our guy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I also heard that he, if by chance you had passed away, that he was going to stop doing the radio show, which I thought...
Well, I don't think it was even passed away. If I couldn't do the radio show, he didn't want to do the radio show. And that's a beautiful thing.
That is a really beautiful thing.
What a tribute
There's only one you.
To our long-standing relationship.
Yeah.
And, the truth is, I would want him to do whatever would make him happy.
Yeah.
And if continuing the radio show would make him happy, then I would want him to do that no matter what.
But then who would do the news and laugh like this?
What is that impression? I heard that. Hey, and I was like, I don't laugh like that.
When you call directory assistants or you're trying to call, to make reservations, do people recognize your voice all the time?
They recognize it on the street. I can be talking or laughing especially. People will turn around and say, that's Robin. They don't even have to be looking at me. Yeah.
Is this a wig?
This is a weave. I tried wigs.
You don't like wigs?
I like wigs, and I've worn wigs before.
But what happened?
But when you don't have any hair...
Then you use toupee tape.
No. I wasn't taping anything to my head.
Why?
I wasn't gluing anything to my head. And I was like, how do people... I watched the YouTube videos to see how to do it and all that stuff. And I was just like, I can't do that. So I went bald from the chemotherapy.
Yes.
And I was wearing wigs, and they were sliding all around. One night I was at dinner at a friend's house, and the thing was coming off my head. And I ran to the bathroom, and I pulled it back on. And I said, if I'm going to constantly be tugging at hair, I'd rather it be a hat. So I wore hats for the rest of them. But what you find out, first of all, when you know you're going to lose your hair, you say to yourself, well, I hope I look good bald.
How'd you look? Do you have a nice
Terrible.
shape?
No, my head had a horrible shape. It had wrinkles in it. And so I was like, oh, well, there's that part. Then you say, well, maybe I look good in hats. Don't look good in hats. And I couldn't wear wigs. So I just sort of, vanity goes out the window.
When you're battling for your life,
Yes.
Of course it does.
But it gets funny because one day I was walking down the street and a homeless man was asking everybody for $1.
Okay.
And I said, okay, you get ready for that, right? So I'm getting ready, the guy walked right past me. I said, I look really bad. I don't even look like I have $1.
Don't go away, everybody. Robin is going to stay with us. I have to address the rumor about you and David Arquette.
Rumor?
And the making out. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more next. Keep it here. Robin's new book is called The Vegecation of Robin.
Yes.
You are a vegan.
Absolutely, and you got the name right. I didn't know this was going to be such a difficult title for people. I thought it was going to be fun and simple, but everybody's stumbling over the name. But you got it right. So it is The Vegecation of Robin.
Now, tell me about being a vegan and how it helped you survive.
Well, first of all, the whole point of the vegan diet was that I wasn't feeling well a while back. Back in 2001, I was really sick and I couldn't do anything but sleep and work. And it had gotten to the point where I wasn't really enjoying my life at all. And then I went on a search to find out why and what I could do about it. And I discovered a connection between how I was eating and how I was feeling. And it was once I became a vegan that all of these symptoms I was experiencing disappeared. Doctors were recommending surgery. I was constantly being put on pain medication. All of that stuff went away.
You were even stumping your doctors. Now, do you smoke the medical marijuana?
No, I didn't have any pain and I didn't have any nausea, which is the reason people take medical marijuana. But all my friends were saying, Robin, can you get some medical marijuana?
Of course.
And I was like, but I don't need it. And they go, oh, not for you.
So, all right, what's the story behind you and David Arquette and a heavy makeout session?
You know what? I don't even know how this happened. I was out in L.A. one night, and he called me.
Courtney
no, they were broken up.
Oh, okay.
And
so this is recent.
He was, yeah, next time you're out in LA, we'll hang out. But I'm thinking like a friendly sort of thing. And so he calls me up and he says, hey, I'm going to get a tattoo and I'll get you one. Come hang out with me. And so I said, I wasn't thinking about a tattoo, but hey, why not? And so that's this tattoo right here. That's the tattoo he bought me.
He gave you a rose.
Well, it's a lotus flower.
And
so we were hanging out at the tattoo parlor and enjoying ourselves. And then I had something to do early the next day. And I said, David, I got to go. And he said, well, I'm going to walk you out to the car. And then, you know, we're waiting for the car to come. And the next thing I know, he's like all over me.
with tongue and everything?
You know, like, whoa. And I was like, you know, because I thought he's going in for a nice goodnight kiss or something, you know,
Had he
for
been
a friend.
drinking?
No, he wasn't drunk.
Were you drinking?
We had a glass of wine. Come on. It wasn't like a crazy thing.
Wow.
But this was, and you know, and I was like taken aback. And then when, you know, he stopped kissing me and he goes, you're not taking me seriously, are you?
Aww. Aww.
And I was like, oh, of course I'm taking you seriously.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Say, Robin, before you leave, I have a gift for you.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look. You know, I have my new wig line.
Yes, I know.
It's called Wendy Williams Hair World, and this one's called the Classic Beauty. It's 100% human hair, and I'm going to give you some wig tape to go along with it.
I gotta go work on wigs.
Thank you, Robin, for being here.
It's a pleasure to see you.
Everybody, the Vegucation of Robin is in stores now. Pick it up, and we'll be right back. From menswear inspired to ankle strap heels, this fall has so many shoe trends. We need somebody to break it down for us. So here from People Style Watch magazine to show us the newest and the most trendy things to wear for fall is their fashion director, Kate Dimmick. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you for rescuing us.
Oh, I'm here to help.
Okay, before we start with what we do need to have in our closets, what do we need to get rid of?
I think put the platforms to the back of the closet. Okay, I'm not saying getting rid of them entirely, and if it's what you love, it's what you love, but it's not so much about that platform heel anymore. And then maybe the Western booty gets a little place right next to it.
Thank God.
Right? Done. We're done.
Oh,
we're not in the Wild West.
Yeah.
We're in New York City.
Okay,
So
let's talk about what we have on the table.
Okay, well, for starters, flats are red hot for fall. Now, you don't strike me as a flats girl, but you said you're into it.
I do wear flats from time to time.
Yeah, and this shape, this kind of longer, pointy toe, really is quite flattering. It looks good with crop pants and full skirts. Love the animal print. At People Style Watch, we say animal print's a neutral. Just wear it like it's black or beige. Love that from Topshop for $65. We've got a cute color block version to just like kick your look up with a little color. Yeah. And then these red ones from Zara are divine.
Divine. Well, you know, and I love a pointed flat. I always say, what are you, 5 years old? You wear a round flat? Like Seri Cruz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not church.
Yes.
So now, statement heels. Of course, you know, it's still also about a heel.
Yes.
And we are going beyond the pump right now. We've got major statement heels happening for fall. I love these ones from Shoe Dazzle. These are $40.
$40.
Right? And you've got the animal print, you've got the cross around the ankle.
No platform.
Sexy, 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 single platform, single sole. The cage is also really important, this kind of cage heel.
Yeah.
We love it in gray, that's sort of a new neutral, and it's like a booty, really, but it's a little bit sexier.
You can wear this with black tights during the fall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then these are fantastic.
These are
from
very
Nina,
pretty.
right?
Yes.
And I mean, don't be precious with a shoe like this. I see all that embellishment, but you know, wear it with a boyfriend jean and a cute sweater. It's just as good as it is with a black dress.
Right.
You know, you gotta get them out.
Yes.
Take them for a walk.
Okay, let's talk about these. Start with these.
I know. You are into those shoes. Aren't those great? Those are from Joe's. And again, I'm giving you two trends in one. I'm giving you metallic and menswear.
And the pointy toe.
Right? It's all there.
I'm obsessed.
So, and you know, that idea of like doing a little sexy twist on menswear is super important.
How much are these?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Those are a little more. Those are like about $160, but you'll wear them to death. So, and again, we have that idea of taking the menswear thing and giving it a little sex up.
Yes.
So we've got these great Oxfords on a heel. And can't you just see Gwen Stefani in these?
I can see me in these.
Right.
They're good.
They're really good. And the
Okay.
two-tone from Just Fab, these are also $40. So
Two-tone.
I'm giving you, it's kind of that spectator look.
Yes.
So if you're a girly girl, but you want to try menswear, this is a nice option.
Very boss.
Right.
Okay, let's talk boots.
Boots. Super important for fall. Really, 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 really big. So if you were ever going to invest in a boot, this is the season to do it. Those are from Express. They're under $100. And they're so modern without all the like bells and whistles and buckles and stuff. You just slip them on with a cute skinny jean. So good.
Who's this?
Ooh, those are really nice too. Those are from Schutz. They're about $240. But that embellishment, again, don't be precious with it. Wear them with jeans. You know, you can wear it with a dress, of course, and dress it up. But
Do you know what I'm not seeing any place on here? Spikes. Is the spike still in?
You know, we kind of overspiked. I think we overspiked in the last couple of years. So again, it's kind of moving to the side. If it's your thing and that's your statement.
Yeah, I'm still
and
wearing mine.
There's a lot of punk, but
I can't.
I would never take your spikes away from you.
And these are really...
These are good, right?
These are killer.
Yeah. So the over-the-knee boot is, again, a super big statement for fall. But if you don't want to have that pretty woman look to it.
The hooker look.
The hooker look. That chunkier heel is going to save you.
Yes.
And these are H&M, $150.
There you go. Kate, fantastic display of shoeism.
My pleasure.
For more information on all these shoes, log on to wendyshow.com. Be sure to pick up the latest copy of People Style Watch magazine. It's on newsstands now. Up next, we're going to hear from Wendy watchers who had a little something to say about, well, hot topics. Keep it where you got it. Thanks. Time for fan feedback. Earlier during Hot Topics, we were talking about Usher's ex-wife suing him for allegedly not including her in on the parenting decision. Here's what she said on my Facebook. Mina R says, I think there's a reason the judge gave custody to Usher rather than their mom. Maybe Tamika should focus on fixing herself so she can get her kids back. And then Brittany J says, this is exactly why people need to be careful, very careful who they breed with. Tamika has got some damn nerve. Well, you know, this was also a relationship that Mrs. Raymond didn't approve of. She was less than enthused about Tamika's presence in Usher's life. Look, you keep your comments coming because we love it. Join the conversation on my Facebook and Twitter page, and we'll be right back. Thanks. Best time today. I want to thank my guest and my co-host, my fabulous studio audience. Tomorrow, the handsome and talented Blair Underwood is here, and another deserving breast cancer survivor gets a fabulous makeover. Plus, lots of juicy, juicy hot topics. I love you for watching today. See you next time on Wendy. Bye-bye.